Looking back, do you think you married for the right reasons?
No, I didn't. The morning it happened, we had, should I say, a fight that morning, and the father of my kids just left. I had 8 babies in me.
I've never seen babies.
I had my US visa interview. The date was 5th of February. I didn't know that they had changed my date. And guess the date they changed? October last year.
What is the highest expression of love for you?
Love.
How have you been?
I've been good.
How have you been feeling lately?
Awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Break it down for me even further.
Life has been good. And yeah, awesome. And I'll refer to this quote Tony Robinson always says, we always run away from problems. And that's because we don't understand that problems are life's opportunity to explore. They are adventures, they are life's adventures. Your life cannot nothing goes smoothly. So those problems are life's adventures. And once you cross over those adventures, you become the person who you should be, or it's preparing you for your next phase. So yeah, life has been honestly great.
I love it. And that's because of the problems you've had.
Yes. Parents have crossed. Yeah.
I was telling someone last week, I'm like, problems are a gift.
Yeah, seriously, they are.
They're a gift. They're beautiful gifts. Okay, so I was thinking you were Yoruba. And then I got to realize that you grew up in Kaduna. And then I'm like, oh, why did I think that? And then now you said you're actually from, and does it make it make sense?
So I love this part about me, that people don't really see me and say, or fix me, you are this, you are that. So I love that part about me. I love that part about myself. I was born in Kaduna, yeah. And growing up, we grew up in Kaduna, but schooling brought me back to Edo State,
Right.
Igbinedion University. No, secondary school I did Federal Government Girls College Benin. Went back to Abuja, University of Abuja, then came back to Igbinedion University. So yeah, I love that part about me. And when people ask me, where are you from? I tell them I'm Nigerian.
You are Nigerian.
I'm Nigerian because after going through the world and now I live in Lagos, you may think I'm Yoruba, but I'm not Yoruba.
Okay. Tell me about your childhood, your teenage years, and the things that you loved most when you were younger.
My childhood. I grew up with my parents in Kaduna, and I would say I had an interesting childhood. And I just remember what our neighbors used to say way back. My parents were lecturers, Kaduna Polytechnic, way back in Kaduna. We lived in the Polytechnic staff quarters, and we lived in the senior staff quarters. I love my childhood, awesome childhood friends. And they used to tease us that, oh, you see that house? They turn off their light by 7. I had a very strict father. Of course, father of a lecturer who now later joined paramilitary. He was, before he passed away, he was the deputy controller of immigration, semi-border. And yeah, my mother, lecturer. Strict parents, and yeah, there are rules. I love the rules they instill on us, even though those rules somehow made us shaped our life and maybe became scared of life or exploring a lot of things. But yeah, I really love my
Your parents passed.
Yeah.
How old were you?
More than almost 3 decades ago. Over 26 years ago. Yeah.
Did someone go before the other?
Yeah, my dad was ill He died at his last place of work, Semi-Border. He used to work in Port Novo in Republic of Benin. Yeah, I remember we used to go visit him. Oh, my life. My dad was the life of the party. When I mean life of the party, I remember, you see how, circumstances and different things about you shapes your life and changes your life. We grew up, my dad not allowing us wear trousers. But when my father started working outside the country, he was the one buying them for us. My mom would be so upset. My dad loved life. His cabinet, he used to just talk money. In fact, he's the one I learned how to live, live and dream big. Yes, I learned dreaming big from him, even though I was very small when he died, but I was really very close to him. I followed him to all his place of work, and that was how I found myself in Benin. I found myself schooling, my secondary school in Federal Government Girls College Benin, because I was always following my dad. He worked, I was always following him all around. He was deputy controller in Benin, Edo State, before he moved to Republic of Benin, Port Novo. So my dad was life, and I learned a lot from him. I learned to live life with him.
Amazing.
Okay.
What about your mom? How long later did your mom pass?
2 years later, my mom passed. She struggled with diabetes. And my mom's death hurt me so much. She died in my presence. We were sitting talking like this. My mom used to have, aside lecturing, we had a poultry farm, we had animal farm, we reared sheep, poultry farm, beds of 500. So after cleaning the environment that morning, she also had a mini shop where she sells provisions, aside lecturing. That morning, someone came, greeted her. She didn't answer. She sat on the table, resting her head. And the next thing, she didn't talk. I saw her head going down, and that was when we knew something was wrong. I think her blood sugar or diabetic level went below, over low. And we had to rush her to the hospital. And oh my God, that's another story for another day, but I'll cut it short. It was from then I hated going to the hospital, because when we got to the hospital, they told me to go home and prepare her best food. For the longest time, I was upset with that. How do you lie to me? I should go prepare her best food. And I came back with her best food. I saw people gathered. And you are telling me she's no more. Then why did you lie to me? It was recently I unpacked that. I'm like, I don't go to the hospital. I won't lie. Because recently I discovered my age with visiting the clinic and not believing anything they have to say. It was recently I only unpacked that. Yeah.
But how did the death of both of them 2 years apart impact you as a child?
It really did. It hit me. When my mom was the second person to pass away. When she died, I'm like, so I have no one in this world. Then who? I had an auntie who I really looked up to. She was a chartered accountant. In fact, I modeled her path in life. She's the person I used to call my foster mother. She was the one who took care of us, saw us through school. We went to the best school. She gave us everything we wanted. And
What's your faith like? What did your faith used to be like, and what is it now with? And I ask this because we have the same coach, and there's a lot of things we're having to learn and unlearn about God. And my question then goes before you started to come into the awareness of who you are and what life is, what was your faith before, and who God really is, and what is your faith now?
Okay, permit me to just go back a bit. So my mom was Christian.
Okay.
Though she wasn't practicing, but when my dad died, she went back fully into practicing.
Okay.
In fact, before she died, the month she died, she just returned from, is it Shilo? She went to Lagos. We're living in Kaduna, but she traveled all the way to Pastor Oyedepo's church. I can't remember what they do every December. She died in December. A few days after that, is it Shilo? So yes. So now back to your question. My relationship with God has always been Way back, yeah, it was. Don't forget, I lost my parents. Then my foster mom was like my next person I looked up to, even though I've always known God, but not as much as I know him now and I see him now. It took my, should I say, break up with my foster mother to really appreciate God.
Well, how? In what sense?
Okay. I've always known God created me. I've always known I'm responsible to God. But when there's someone, should I say, that vacuum, filling up that vacuum, you kind of tend to, should I say, forget God or not fully rely on him. I had God as a backup.
Got it. Because there was someone who was meeting all your needs.
Now, God is not just my backup. God is my go-to. So I have a personal relationship with God better than ever before. And even now, so better because I have children. And I have to connect them directly to their source.
Got it. I love that. Do you feel like you built a life reflecting your truer self?
I'm still on that journey. I'm still unfolding. I'm still opening up layers. So yes, I'm in that journey.
I think that you are, from what I know, you are such an inspiration as to someone who is constantly opening layers that is to you, and always, like, how do I explain it? You're always willing to explore the different depths of yourself.
That word, yes, I'm an explorer. I remember how I found about Yas Island in Abu Dhabi. I think I'm one of the first Nigerians to go there. I
know that feeling.
Was it 2010? They had not even developed. I don't know if you've been to Yas Island, Abu Dhabi. There was no, if you are watching this and you know about Yas Island, the first time I went to Yas Island, there was no Yas Mall. There was no Yas Mall. It was just hotels. And the hotels were very limited. There was no Ferrari World. There was no...
So you were building with them.
I love to explore. I love to travel, even though then when I started traveling, I didn't have the funds, but I knew it was something I loved to do. I love to explore the world.
I know what you mean, because when I went to Morocco, I went to Ouarzazate. People don't go to Ouarzazate. I was delayed at the airport because they've never seen a Nigerian here. So they didn't know what to do with me.
They didn't know how to
accept me. They took my passport. So I was the last person to leave the airport because they're like...
And you had the Moroccan visa?
Yes, no, I do. I would like go without having... And they're like, they've never seen a Nigerian in that airport. It was Ouarzazate, because people don't go to Ouarzazate as such. Okay. To you, what's the highest expression of your deepest potential in purpose? Like, for you, in the things that you want to do, what does it look like if it is on the highest level of it?
I would say I'm still unfolding my highest self. And I love how it unfolds. Like I said, I learned how to dream big by watching my dad, or staying with my dad and growing up with him, and seeing how money means nothing to him. I believe I'm still unfolding my purpose. I'm still on that path. So for now, I can never say
this is what it looks like. Who is Zuwaira at the core of our being? In success and in failure? Give me the two scenarios of who you are at that core.
In failure, I struggled so much with anxiety. I'm learning to be at peace with myself. Thankful for the health journey I've gone recently. So even failure, I see failure as a normal thing in life. And we should learn to see failure as, let it come. There's no manual to life. So if we don't try, how do we know how to do it or how to get it right? I'm a gardener. I love plants. That helps me, grounds me, and brings me down to my low level. So if I have any difficult times or if I've experienced any failure, I go to my garden, and just by checking some of my plants, I begin to, calm myself down and really redirect my steps and how to, either correct that or go back to correcting that failure again.
I like that you say, like, when I've gone through failure, I don't instantly try to save or do. I just go to a place of stillness, ground myself, and then begin to start again. I feel like people always want to try to catch things from failing. And I had to learn it the hard way when every time I
No, I'm still not there because something happened to me last week and I'm like, Zuwaira, why are you doing this to yourself? Calm down. No, calm down. Why are you doing this to yourself? Let me just say this, and I know this kind of disappointment is not something, one should look out for or one should ever want to experience. I had my US visa interview for the date was 5th of February last week. I didn't know that they had changed my date. And guess the date they changed?
What?
October last year. So they put no show on my profile. So when we got there, my appointment was supposed to be 7 a.m. I got there with my suit. Ashoke suit. Bam, hey. I went there. My name was not on the list. I was like, okay, they'll sort it out. I sat down. I was even sleeping when I sat down. They checked the back end. They noticed they had changed the date. I'm like, why? Anyway, throughout that day, I beat myself. I'm like, at first I was numb. I couldn't feel anything. I couldn't cry. I'm grateful I was able to, retrace my step and, allow myself, console myself and tell myself that whatever is happening is for my own good.
Yeah.
I can always, even though we've not sorted the date, but I believe it will sort itself.
I like that because I've come to realize too that when things are not going the way they should, I've now come to tell myself something better is about to happen.
Yeah. So I just release it and, allow God to take control, and it is for my own good, and I allow God to see how to resolve it.
I love it. So what is Zuwaira like in success?
Oh, hey, in success. Yes, I love life. I love life.
I love it.
It permit me to go back a bit. Some of the things that have been a part of my success, I love to visualize a lot. Like I say, I'm a daydreamer. I know how to sit down. And I noticed that so many things I'd sat down to dream about have come to pass. Like not sleeping and dreaming, but sitting down and putting myself in that. In fact, even though right now I'm still trying to, create more because I noticed
as it should be.
It's only when I do that, some of those things come to pass. So yeah, I love to visualize a lot. And my success has been, I won't lie, a lot of hard work, a lot of persistence, a lot of determination. Yes. I love life and I look forward to many, many, many more successes to come.
I love it. When you say I love to visualize and a lot of things have come to pass from visualizing, tell me some of those things.
Okay, one of it was, I remember, in fact, it was even my my sister-in-law that reminded me this. I remember I used to say, you will never build a house, you will buy. Like, really, I used to say that. And yeah, my first home, was purchased and I didn't have to stress myself with building. Yeah, so many things, having kids, how I want them to grow up.
Did you visualize having kids?
Yeah, I did.
Talk more on that. This was before you had kids.
Yeah, I always knew I wanted to be a mother because I love kids. I always wanted to be a mother. Growing up, I'm always the go-to person to take care of children. I'm always the go-to person they leave their kids with. So I always wanted to be a mother.
So give me a scenario where you're visualizing your kids before they came. Can you remember? Not really.
Not really, but I know I always wanted to be a mother with kids.
Also, tell me how your success in business. So I'll delve into your business now. You're the founder of Ama Botanics.
Botanicals,
yeah. And I know that you were previously in 9to5 as an auditor, I think.
So I'm a financial expert, forensic, accounting, a fellow, and also a fellow in tax.
How did you move from that into Ama Botanicals?
My children gave me my current business.
Tell me more about
So
that.
they were born prematurely. They came, I had them at 33 weeks. So they had to spend 6 weeks in the incubator. And yeah, the cosmetics I had earlier taken to the hospital with for them. So because they came prematurely, I couldn't use it on them. And I was told to bring more natural products. I was told to bring things like shea butter, coconut oil. So they couldn't bathe them. So they were cleaning them in coconut oil water. We were mopping them while they were in the incubator. And that was how, I'm like, okay, I started research. I said, because my kids didn't go home with me. I had to leave them under the care of nurses in the NICU. And should I say, I was a mother, but I didn't really have my kids immediately to take care of. So that gave me a bit of time. I started thinking about, what should I use? Though it's not as smooth as I'm saying it now. There was a lot of worry and confusion.
How did you even feel going home without your kids?
It was terrible, honestly. It was. I remember crying. God, I said I wanted children. Why did you give me children like lizard? The lizards are controlling me now. Oh my God. I remember praying and crying. And my mother-in-law then she'll say, why are you crying? You already have them. No, don't do this. I'll play the Quran. I'm like in the hospital, then I'll cry. God, why did you give me this kind of children? I'm thankful. I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm thankful for those journey because that journey has bettered another person, has bettered businesses.
I love that. I really love that. I know that you had to go to study formulations in London. Yeah. Why?
So I wanted to do it right. I wanted to see even though I had my own things I was mixing, but I wanted to do it well and to do it in a better way. So I enrolled at a cosmetic formulation school, Formula Botanica in London. And yeah, I did that even when my kids were under 1 year.
Really?
Yeah.
When you were doing it, were you doing it just for the passion of it? Because I know that you started out just giving out your products just to like share with others before it then became a full-fledged business. So when you were doing that, what was going on in your mind?
I'm also a very good researcher. I started researching other people that were doing what I wanted to venture in and how they were surviving doing that. And I'm like, okay, so people were even actually living off this business I'm about to go into. And I remember one of my friends, I shared some of my products with, and she kept telling me, Zuwaira, you don't know you're sitting on a gold mine. Why not tap into this fully and hone these skills and hold on to it? So that was why I really went back to the school to learn all of that.
Got it. I know that it took you a while before you left your 9 to 5 to fully go into your business. Why is that? Why did it take you so long?
It took me a while because I can't pin it to one thing, but one thing I will say is resistance, number one. The number two, there were so many other factors that I wanted time to control and not me controlling. I had great resistance from my family, not wanting me to leave my job. And, I knew it was coming from a place of love and a fear of, you're the only one taking care of these children. Why do you want to leave a sustainable and a sure path to earning income to an unsure path? And knowing that a lot of people have tried businesses in my family, they failed, But something in me kept telling me that I was going to be different. And I held onto that. And I kept hearing or seeing that vision that I was going to be different.
And you have been different.
Yeah.
You have been different because Amma Botanicals has been very successful. I think I read somewhere that you guys went from maybe 1 bedroom to like a 4-bedroom. Can you expatiate on that?
I started production at home. We started producing from my kitchen. From the kitchen, I moved into my dining area. From my dining area, I took over the space at the back. Took over another room in the house, And now we are currently operating from a 7-bedroom factory. And that space is still not enough.
I love it. That space is good enough.
We need to expand and all of that. Even aside that, we have an outlet where people walk in to shop, both in Ikoyi and Ikeja. Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
I'm grateful to God, honestly. Each time I try to find myself, going to sink in, I quickly remind myself of how blessed I am. And considering where I'm coming from, I always tell God, may I never forget how blessed I have been and how I've crossed so many hurdles to be where I am.
It's amazing. Well done. What would be your advice for somebody who is struggling to maybe leave their 9 to 5 to focus on a business that they have so much maybe conviction on, but there is the fear of letting go of the known versus the unknown?
First of all, I would say to do your proper research before, because I think that's where our mothers or our parents get scared about. We're not sure of where the waters we are entering and not to just go there and sing. So before you leave your 9 to 5, be very sure of the kind of business you're going into. I also want to plead with that person to please gather enough customers. Your customer base. Work on your customer base that will ensure that you continue to be in business.
Got it.
Before you leave your 9 to 5.
Okay, that's good. Thank you. So, I know that you are a mother to triplets.
Yes.
Triplets.
Triplets.
Wait, first of all, tell me about that. What does that feel like? What is that like? And I know they're almost 9 now.
Yes.
What has been the journey for you being a mother of triplets?
Mother of triplets. I think that's one of the greatest challenge I've ever crossed, or I'm still crossing. Because I'm not yet done.
9 years.
No, what's in children? They'll act nice today. The next minute, they're like, no. What is this?
Now you see, now you don't. What's this?
So yeah, that's been my greatest project in life. It's a big task, but I'm thankful to God to be on this journey with those children. Because I've learned a lot from them. I'm still learning from them.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that. I like that. So I know that you're a mom, you're a business owner, you do a lot. Who are you to you in all of these different parts that you have to be for everything and everyone?
I would say I am Zuwaira. First of all, I'm a gardener. I love my personal space. Yes, I love my personal space. I love me. I wouldn't change me for anything. I wouldn't. I'm special. I just love me, and I love how I think. I love how I reason. I love the innocent me who doesn't know things. Yeah,
that's good. That's really good.
Yeah, so,
like don't let the word corrupt your mind.
I love the innocent me who I always come. Should I say unassuming to a lot of people?
You do. You really do.
So I love that about me.
But is that intentional or that's just who you are?
It's not intentional. Like I said, I'm innocent. I am. I how you think I know so much, and I don't know so much, but I love.
You're very unassuming, because when I got to know that you're the founder of Amal Botanicals, I'm like, what? What? And I got to know that you have 3 children. I'm like, this baby's a scam.
It's not intentional.
I know. I get to know you all.
Yeah, I love that about me.
It's beautiful, to be honest. I love it. What is the most courageous thing that you've done that most people will not necessarily ascribe as courage?
Well, okay, I would say this. I lived in Ebutimeta for 3 years with my children. I remember the building cracks falling apart. And yeah, that was when where we live now they were still developing it. The staircase at the back was almost falling off. I lived there with my 3 children in that place. That was where Amal Botanical started. A lot of people will not see that as courage because number one, I'm never one to make so much noise about my pain. I can be in pain with you here. You'll be seeing me. Oh God, she's so brave. Only that I'm nursing one pain there. So that also has a good and its bad side though. Yeah, but I would say that's the most courageous thing I've done with kids. I was unsure of my next move, even though the house was still where we are now was still under construction. I didn't know when it will happen, but staying in that building, conceiving Amal Botanical's dream, taught me a lot of lessons and made me so courageous. Never wanting to go back to that state I was.
That's good. Well done. Well done. Because people don't really see that when you choose to do a whole lot more than you think you're capable of, it's courageous. It's really courageous. Well done. Well done. You're not someone that has a lot of friends, in my opinion.
I have a lot of acquaintances.
Yeah, I know you do.
Close. Yeah.
So what does genuine friendship look like for you? Really?
Genuine friendship to me is openness, being vulnerable and not judging. I'm someone that I hardly share, but when I share, I want you to listen and not judge. Just listen to me. In fact, don't even tell me the next step, but just shall listen. Because that's one of the gifts I believe God has also given me. I may cry about something, but give me time. That thing I want, I will get it. So just listen to my cry. Just all I want is. So that's really what I want or I would value as friendship.
So vulnerability, openness, and understanding without judgment.
Yeah.
I love it. It's beautiful. How do you define success now compared to when you started your journey?
Permit me to be sarcastic. Am I successful?
Don't do that!
Because I believe, sorry to that, I say permit me to be sarcastic. I think success is a journey. I'm not yet where I want to be, but I'm grateful to God for where I've come from. I'm very grateful. I'm very, very grateful. But I believe I have so much more to do. I'm still on that journey and I'm grateful to God for that. That was really sarcastic, right?
Very.
Oh my God.
I'll take what I get. Okay, what I can get. So, I want to ask, what is the highest expression of love for you?
Love. Oh God. I didn't No, you see, I've been so, like I said, should I say when it comes to love, I've been naive. I've been no, I don't think the problem is even love. It's the people we chose to do love with. No. Let me correct that. The problem is not
you're
love.
a lover girl.
Yes, I am. The problem is not love. It's the people we chose to do love with. And going into love without, like I said, I'm very naive, very, very innocent, and yeah. Come again with the question.
What is the highest expression of love for you? Like when you're in love, what is happening? What does love look like for you in a place where you're being safe, at peace, and happy?
I think I had to unlearn a lot of things about love. Because Zuwaira of before, love will turn her head that she will not even know what she's doing. So
all of us join together.
That we'll not even know our direction. We'll not even remember our vision in life.
So we have to be direct.
I had to unlearn a lot about love. And for me, I believe love is safe. Love is not having to be panicky around anybody. Love is guarded. mutual respect, and I don't know if I should add vulnerability to it. I have my reasons for that. But yeah, love is safe. I look forward to love. But like I said, I'd had to unlearn a lot of things about love.
Got it.
What truly it should be and what it should be. And I always say, love is self. You must love yourself first.
Agreed.
Before you can be able to give love or even open yourself for love to come in.
Got it.
So someone can even love you the right
way. So this takes me to your divorce. What are the things that you've learned? And when you say love is self first, if you could go back to prior, what would you have done differently? And I don't like to say that because what is done is done. How do we move forward? But with what you say is like loving yourself first before you can give love to another. Tell me about the entirety of what that looks like.
I'm someone who I don't believe in going back to my past. So I wouldn't say there's anything I would have changed. Because if not for my experiences, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Great.
I wouldn't be the better version of who I am now. So I'm grateful for my experiences. And I'm grateful for that separation, that long-term separation that had bettered the new me and rediscover myself.
So short and straight to the point and simple. I love it. But I also wanted to know, in those seasons when, like you just said, I could sit here with you and I'm nursing a pain and you wouldn't even know. And in those seasons where you were nursing that pain of separation, what was it like for you?
It was a lot. In fact, I can't even remember. But I would say I thought the world would end. The first thing that came to my mind was, how will I go on? How will I move on? What shame? The first thing that came to me was shame. I remember the morning it happened, we had a fight that morning, and the father of my kids just left, and he left. This has been, the kids will be 9 years, going to about 8 years now. Yeah. Even though he tried coming back, but after 5 years. But I told myself, no, this is not what you want. Don't go back there. So it was a whole lot of rediscovery, a whole lot of whining, a whole lot of self-blame, a whole lot of internal drama. But I'm grateful for it all because it helped me to shape who I am today, or who I'm going to be, or who I'm becoming.
What did it feel like having to nurse it while you were raising your children?
It was a lot of pain. I won't lie. One of my son, I remembered, he had digestive issues, and his own digestive issues was worse. Crying at night, stomach pain. Well, I'm thankful that I had, that was when I found Miss Fun, to communicate and share some of those pain with and not judge me, listen to me. The group therapy and all of that helped to, remove, pain stored does more harm to the body. Helped to, channel that pain elsewhere. And I think in a way, that pain helped me to build Amal Botanicals.
So the pain has served a good purpose.
Yeah, I channeled it to building Amal Botanicals. I channeled it to becoming the best person I should be. Because, in fact, when he came back begging, I didn't expect it to happen so fast. I was shocked. I was really so quick.
What were you expecting to come? 20 years later?
5 years. I didn't. The shock was, but I'm grateful for that journey because it helped me to redirect myself. It helped me to better understand myself. Sometimes pain is actually there to correct things you know nothing about.
Yeah, agreed. That is already there.
Yes, I was grateful that happened because I mean, how would I have lived my life like that? Raising those children.
Continuously, yeah.
I would have later on regretted my life.
I know what you mean. Because
Later
you were
on,
doing things in ignorance.
I would have regretted my life, honestly. See, I wouldn't trade my experiences for anything. No, I won't. No. Shame?
It's so
Want to
good.
shame me now? No, not me. No.
I've shamed
You
myself.
can never
right?
experience that. Experience was like life lessons to me. It was masterclass for me myself.
That is so good. I have goosebumps.
So it was like a masterclass for me. So if you sit down there, oh, she's a single mother. Oh, maybe you're feeling sorry or you're shame. You know what that has done for my mind, for myself, how I see things differently. I wouldn't trade that for anything. If that pain didn't happen, I'm not sure I'll be able to sit down and think well about so many things in life.
I know what you mean. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
You're proud of yourself.
Very, very proud of myself. Very proud of myself.
I feel like people who listen to people who judge don't know who they are. And people who judge are just talking of themselves, because I've had to go through pain and failure and shame myself, and I know how people say things, and I know who I am.
Yeah. I'm just sitting here picturing my mirror. I have so many, more than 20 or 30 notes on my mirror. Beautiful things about myself. So yes, I know who I am.
I love it. And you're an amazing person. Tell me about times and situations where you've had to course correct.
In what aspect? Or
anyone? Like in the case where something was maybe happening and you had to come to a realization that this doesn't serve me and I have to change my path.
So many instances in life. I just mentioned one. When the father of my kids came back, he even sent us a message. He sent, let's come back quietly as one family. Nobody needs to know. In my mind, I'm like, wait, really? Hey. So I had to sit with that thought, even though I knew I wasn't going back there. I had to seek other people's opinion, and from the male point of view, I remember speaking to my sister's husband, my sister, my elder sister, and they asked me one question. All these years you guys have been apart, what has he done for the children? And do you think that would correct itself overnight? I'm like, I already knew the answer, but I just needed.
I get that.
I told myself, no, I'm not going back there. I don't care whatever anyone says. I'm never going to be a Mrs. just to be a Mrs. No, I'm never going to do that. I rather remain single, because now I know my value. I know my worth with tax added to it. I'm never going to go back.
I love it. So that person,
I had to correct that. I'm like, no, I'm never going to do this just to be a Mrs. And you know how society tries to drive in a lot of people. They see some issues, they come back, beg, they go back. I'm like, no, I'm never going to do this.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm very glad, because a lot of people have that whole, what will people say when, I like the fact that you also said, I knew the answer, but I also needed counsel from others so that I know, and it's not because I need validation, but because I want to know that I'm not crazy.
Yes, that's the word. I want to know I'm not crazy.
and I love that you do that. And having gone through that type of pain, knowing that this person didn't go through this pain with me. This person might have their own different point of view of the pain they feel, and it doesn't make it any lesser for them. But then when you say, let's come back quietly, oh no, you shamed me publicly.
Yeah.
And it's not even about the public shame, but you also did me a favor by me having to do the sitting down with my pain and my demons to then bring out my worth. I don't know if you've even done that work enough for us to now begin to go together.
Thank you. Again. I don't know if you've done the work. You even realized what you did was how you contributed to it. So you're not even ready to talk about have survived those. No, I wasn't doing that.
How did you begin to heal emotionally and mentally after the whole scenario with the divorce?
I
With the
think
separation.
I think they say time is a great healer. Yeah, time. I think in everything, give it time and give yourself time. Yes, I knew for the earlier part, I beat myself up, I shamed myself, I did, but time is a great healer. Me of before, I couldn't sit down to talk about this particular issue because it happened in a very messy, terrible way. So, time is a great healer.
Got it.
And give yourself time. There is no hurry in anything. Healing takes time, and healing is a process. Sometimes you may think you've healed from something, and that same thing still triggers you. You still get triggered about same thing. So give yourself time. And healing is a continuous process. It's a work in progress.
Is there a reason why you're not legally divorced yet?
Should I say I'm not really ready for it, but I know I will. So the Muslim part of it, we didn't do a court wedding. So it's just to go back to, I think Islamically. In fact, Islamically, after 3 months
Yes,
of
I love Islam.
I think someone was saying I need to go to court. Remember, we didn't do a court wedding. We need to go to customary court. I don't know about that, but
no, if you guys did not do a court wedding, then did you sign anything in court?
Just no, we didn't sign anything. So
yeah, divorce, yeah.
But like when it happens that way, you've not put, I don't know, closure. Yeah, they say closure does not really exist sometimes, But like I said, time is a great healer. Only God knows what will happen next.
Yeah, what's beautiful love for you?
By God's grace. We'll get there by God's grace, We'll get there.
Did you ever feel like you have to always prove yourself to the society or to your kids or even to yourself sometimes?
The old me was there. The old me always trying to prove, I could do this, I could do that. But now, no.
What changed?
Self-love, self-awareness. I'm on my own journey. Everyone's journey in life is different. I'm on my own race. And I cannot use anyone's time to measure up with me. And the society tries to tell you to do that. I remember when I was telling someone that I wish I knew that we had choices. We could make some certain choices in life. Maybe I wouldn't be where I am now. But like I say, there's nothing in my past I want to change. I'm grateful for it. And I'm thankful now I know and I have my choices.
So you just make them anyhow.
We keep it moving. We make the mistake, we jump, move to the next one. We keep it moving.
I love it. What's done is done.
Yeah.
When do you feel most at peace with yourself?
My home and my garden. I love plants. And caring for them, I've learned a lot about life. I've learned a lot about times and seasons. I've learned, even though I'm a mother, you know how they say mother has natural nurturing instinct. But when you care for plants, it's a different kind of nurturing skills you learn from caring for plants.
Really? How?
You see them grow. They don't move, but they grow. They grow new leaves with little effort. Some need more sunlight, some need more manure, some need water. Just the simple things. They don't move, but they still grow. So which also reminds us to try to always be at peace with ourselves. Because when you're at peace, that's when you grow.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yes. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Because when I think about the past year of my life,
you actually grow when you're at peace.
Yeah.
When you are still.
Yeah.
Not in doing a lot of things.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Because we've been told activities is the way to grow. I had to unlearn
It's okay to do, but know that there's time you must rest. There must time you must go into yourself, reflect, and that is the only time you grow.
I love it. What was your first thought when you found out you were having triplets?
Like I said, I wanted children.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really wanted children. I'm grateful to my foster mother because she was the one who made sure I had those kids as at the time I had them.
How?
I did IVF.
Oh.
I didn't even do it in Lagos. I did it in Abuja. And like I said, I'm grateful to her. I'm grateful for her connections. I was away from work for 1 year. I was just in one place for 1 year. I think that period also made me reflect so much about life. It was the second round of IVF that clicked. The first didn't click. The second one clicked. In fact, let me say I had very good doctors. One of them was my friend. My gynae was my friend. We did secondary school together. I had 8 babies in me. They had to do a reduction at 3 months to keep 3 inside me. I've never said
babies.
Yeah, they had to do a reduction to keep the 3.
Gosh, that's my mouth.
Of which, in fact, that was the beginning of my fight with my foster mother. Anyway, story for another day. She wanted me to keep 2, come back and do another one. In my mind, I'm like, yeah.
I think the one that just carry everything.
So I'm like, no, I'm gonna do 3 ones, and I know that that's it. So yeah, I'm grateful to her for that push. I was so deep in work, and she said, no, you need to do this now.
Yeah.
You needed to do. So I think that really helped shape, move me away from work and started inlining to, childcare, childbirth, and everything.
I like that. I was literally telling a friend of mine to say, because I've been able to rest for almost 2 years of not working, I feel like for the first time in my life, I'm ready for kids.
Oh, nice.
Because I was able to finally maybe nurture my own self, parent myself. And I feel like, I think now I can say that I'm ready for kids and all. But let's come back to you. 8 kids.
Yeah.
I didn't even know IVF can do that to begin with. And I didn't even know you had your triplets with IVF.
Yeah, I did.
What did that feel like for you? Did you...
It was a lot. I don't know. That process was a lot of roller coaster. That was when we started having issues with the father of my kids. He didn't understand the emotion part of it. I went through a lot of emotions, and some I couldn't express.
Yeah, I couldn't even process as much.
Yeah, so he didn't understand that. And
3, I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah, they put in embryos. So all they put, all fertilized the second time.
But what happened before you had to go for IVF?
We tried for, I think, 2 years on our own. Nothing worked. And my mom was like, come, there's this good hospital in Abuja. Come and see them. If I remember going to the doctor, and the doctor was like, you still have time. You're young. Go and keep trying. Remember, I'm like, to this man.
I'm very annoying sometimes.
You still have time. You're young. Go and keep trying. You just need to shed some weight. I don't like. This will come. This your uncle. Just tell him to do what he wants to do and let me go. Is it that money I'll pay him? Yeah. So when the first one failed, that emotion. See, it's not easy. Having children, the process is a lot of emotions. Even the IVF process itself is a lot, honestly. It's a lot. I'm not even sure I've really unpacked that, but it's a lot.
And then having it to be a lot, failing the first time, and then the second. I mean, in my head now, I feel like the first time that it failed, you would have felt that a lot of emotions of what's going on and all. And then the second time, you now hear that there's 8. How did your emotions shift?
I was scared for my life.
So you went from disappointment to fear.
I was scared. Hi. I'm scared. I also had someone saying, do the 4, go to US, just fly to US. Like 4. Please, I like my life. Because even the whole pregnancy, I suffered from preeclampsia. My legs were swollen, my feet. In fact, I had spots on my leg, all gushing out water due to the pressure of the babies in me. Last trimester was terrible. I won't remember how to write exams. No, I was strong during my pregnancy. I was strong. After conceiving, I never went back to the hospital for anything. They never Like I never had to stay back in the hospital until after one of my professional exams at work, that they told me I couldn't go back, and that was the 33 weeks. They had to bring out the babies.
I just, in my mind, I'm like, you've gone through so much. You've gone through, no, you don't get, like, in my mind, I'm like, the roller coaster of 2 years you tried for children, you didn't have. You then went from that emotion to doing IVF, the IVF failing, another emotion, and then the IVF, coming through, which is like, I'm happy, but 8 children, and then having to make the decision of, I can't do 8, let's get rid of 5.
The numbers was not even a problem. I remember we dragging 2 to 3, 4, Yeah. Well, I'm thankful for the 3 I have.
I'm grateful for you, but I'm going back to them like, what were your insights saying to you? My insights would have just been any small distress for me. My insight is like, hello, nobody asked you for this stress. And I'm just thinking about how,
like I said, I always wanted to be a mother.
Yeah, I know, but then in that point in time when everything was happening, were you happy trying to be a mother?
I was just like grateful and happy that, okay, I'm going to do this once.
Well,
and I won't go back again.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not going back there again.
I've always been shocked when people say things on the podcast, but I'm not able to get past let me bring myself back. You went through a lot.
Knowing that I won't go through it again was a consolation for me.
Got it.
Even though I want children, but only I'm scared of childbirth.
Who isn't?
But I was happy that, okay, after this, let me see who will come and disturb you again.
So how are you balancing single motherhood while building a successful business?
Balancing. We're in it. Yeah. Take each day as it comes. Some days good, some days bad, but yeah, we're in it.
Tell me what a day looks like. Being who you are and ensuring you're good as a person, and then your children, and then your business. What does a day look like of maybe good and bad happening?
I tend towards my creator. He is my source for everything. And you know how the society kinds of, judge you without knowing the story or anything. I remember, okay, let me just say this. I've shared some things with some people, and when you tell them about your story, they kind of shift away from you.
Yeah.
And I tell myself, no. So I'm also grateful for the part I am in. I tell, no, those are not my people.
Yeah.
I
agree.
If I tell you and you shift, or you're not.
Yeah.
And some of them end up coming back. But I now know where they stand or where they belong or who they are.
I know my place with you.
Yeah, I know my place with you.
I know.
So I commit everything to my source. Yeah. And that has guided me in everything. Being a good day, being a bad day. Bad days will come. But I always, let time pass and let time deal with itself.
I love it. I like it so much. What lessons have your kids unknowingly taught you about yourself?
Patience, and there are different ways to doing things without really, we as adults don't want to do and we'll be so engulfed in that. But kids will playfully do what you tell them to do.
Yeah.
And they will do it playfully without you'll be like, come on, focus. No, they'll do it playfully and they get it done. And how things doesn't bother them.
So you had to learn that and inculcate that. That's good. If your children watch this in the future as adults, what would you like them to know?
Take life with ease. Life is in seasons, times and seasons. And nothing lasts forever. And time is a great healer. Yeah, because things will happen to you. That for sure.
Nobody's living this life without things happening to them. Let's all know that.
But time is a great healer.
I love it. How would you like your children to remember you? So, even right now, my children are already practicing things I want them to remember about me. During the last holiday, they wrote me letters
every day. They write letters, sleep under my door. Whenever I don't come out early from my room, they write letters, pass it through my door. And they say so many nice things about me. So they know. You see, children are not children. In fact, I see my 3 children as 3 human beings, like 3 full human beings. When we use the word children, I think we usually tend to think, let's say maybe they're not fully developed or not lie. They're in full awareness of what they're doing.
Yeah.
So I see them as full human beings. And that has made me appreciate them coming to my life, learning a lot from them. And also, I look forward to them being amazing human beings of themselves.
Yeah. I think you
And they also see me, they say a lot of, I'm a super mom, and I know I believe them. Because children are like clean slates, and they say it as it is. They don't know how to mind well.
Yeah, agreed. So you hope they remember you as a super mom?
Not just super mom. I'm not a superhero. I don't want. I'm not. But see me as someone who wants something in life and goes after that thing.
I think you're doing a good job at that already. I think you do. Well done. I wanted to ask, if your sons bring home a wife in the future, what would you like to see in those women?
Me? It's not for me. It's their choice.
I know it is. Of course, it's their choice. But what would you like to? When I told you, would you like to see? It's more like, what would you see that you would say, I raised you and I trust your judgment. So
the only thing I want them to do ever before they bring in any woman is to be of value to themselves first. And whoever they are bringing in already has value on herself.
Yeah.
Already, I don't want them to bring in, should I use the word struggling? No, not struggling. Someone who is still struggling with their identity. No. I want them to bring in someone who has value for themselves. Because if you don't value yourself, how will you value that relationship?
Yeah. What about your daughter? Same thing?
Yeah. And I always tell them, there's enough time for marriage and all of that. They should focus on life. They should grow. They should explore. They should travel. They should learn. Learn, just be learning different things. Don't just settle. Learn. Because there's so much, even we as adults, there's so much we are still learning about ourselves.
Agreed. I think there's a scripture in the Bible that says, as far as your eyes can see. And I've been sitting with that for a bit more longer now and realizing that that's actually what we mean by awareness. I can't do what I don't know. I cannot see beyond what my eyes can give me. And
you must try in different things first before you even now know the one that you settle for.
Exactly. Because it's like, this is all I know. So when you're telling me to go and do something beyond what I know.
You can't just know one thing, finish school and say you want to settle. No, there's so much to explore.
Oh my God.
No, you can't
I think that's actually why I like you. Like,
you can't just graduate. No, you must explore.
I love it.
Yeah.
Looking back, do you think you married for the right reasons?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
What were your reasons then?
I rushed into it due to loneliness. Due to not having anything to do, or dependency. Trying to depend on someone. And I think that's where I plead with every parent to encourage their children to learn skills. Different skills. They should never get tired of encouraging their children to learn skills. That time I was alone. I wish that was when I met Amy Sonfo. Or that was when I knew so many things about self-awareness. I wouldn't have gone into it.
Okay. I'm glad.
Especially for our daughters.
Yeah. Especially for our daughters. Because there's so much pressure.
The society, family.
Honestly.
Why are you not this? They put in their own clock on you.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I think what I've come to also realize is that women are not taught that they are the prize.
They are the value.
They are the value. Because the couple I had yesterday, it was like when I had the conversation that I realized that men's biggest fear is inadequacy. And the easy thing is for their ego is to project that inadequacy on the next person, which is always the weaker vessel, which is the woman. But because women are taught, oh, you're supposed to be this way and you're supposed to be that way, we oversee what is actually really going on with the man. But I also feel empathy for the men because they're only doing what they've been told and know to do. I feel so much empathy for them, to be honest, because one of my guests said something. He said, we only see the bad side of patriarchy on women. We don't actually see what it has actually done to men
true.
as well. Like, men are having to be men so quickly instead of growing to be boys. And I'm like, that is actually true.
They are only operating from their level of understanding or awareness or what they've been exposed
to. So we don't, it is hard to have them do differently if they are not as intentional as we have come to be. The reason there are more women in conferences and therapy is because we were taught to be more open-minded than they had to be.
They've always taught them to man up and close in.
So it's a sad thing for them. I feel so much empathy and pity.
I always encourage my boys, so I say, please cry. Know that I'm always here to listen to you.
I love it.
Cry, come. I will hug you. We cry that cry.
We'll cry together. God save if there's need for it. Do you ever feel the pressure to be a strong mother? And I ask this because, especially with the African community, we've always known our mothers to be, oh, my mother was strong, my mother was strong. And it's now that we are realizing that women being strong is actually a bad thing.
Let me just explain this one that happened recently. The day my phone broke on Friday, I cried. Oh, my kids were petting me.
Yeah, I love it.
It's okay.
I'm also human.
My phone fell. Yes, I should be sad because this is like my work too. Yeah. Everything. I had payments to make. Everything was there. Gate access. I couldn't receive visitors. Everything is here. Wow. So like, it really pained me so much. I cried, and in crying, I'm also letting them know it's okay to express that emotion too. Is a form of releasing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And they kept looking at me and telling me, "Oh, mommy, sorry, mommy. Don't worry, Allah will help you repair the phone. Allah will help you."
I love it.
So to them or to my children, I don't want to. Yes, I'm a good mother, but I don't want to form perfect mother.
Yeah.
To my kids, I don't want to form. Oh, I'm the perfect mother. Though I have experiences, that can shape them all, I have the experience to correct them all, but I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
I can make mistakes. And it's okay.
Yeah. I love it. Zuwaira, I don't even know what to ask you anymore.
It's okay to make mistakes. Yeah.
What did your marriage teach you regarding your kids? Like, what do you think your children are taking away from the fact that there was separation with you and your partner and their dad?
I think me and my kids have not really talked about our separation, but they only know that, oh, daddy doesn't come. Okay, so when we moved to our new home, I made it a point of duty never to be the one to separate my kids from the father. The day, in fact, even the first day we slept in our new home, I already sent the address to him. This is where we are now. We've just moved in. We are moving in this day. You can come see them anytime. He came twice and stopped. So they know that daddy doesn't come to our house. Daddy is staying in his own place. In fact, the boys used to say, oh, maybe he's busy.
Children.
Like, and I was like, okay, me, I'm not busy. So we've not really talked about that separation with them, or maybe they've not come to that level of understanding. But one thing I want them to take from it is life happens. And if life happens, you should always try to see the good in everything. Me saying that is, with my partner, I'm not sure my kids would have come out the way they are if we were together.
Give me more context on that.
So you see how we jump into marriage. without discussing the important things. We never discussed about how we would raise our children. And we had different values.
So that would have been clashing in the future.
And the clash would have been too bad for the children. The clash would have been terrible. Because children of nowadays that are very open, you know, it should have been too terrible.
Anyway.
So I'm grateful that it could have been better, but yeah. I don't regret anything.
I'm glad you said that because a lot of people don't really know the cause of issues in marriages and why children grow the way they grow. Because we keep saying, oh, children are toxic, people are toxic, adults are toxic, they're toxic men, toxic women. I'm like, yeah, but then reverse how the home they grew in.
How did it come to be that?
How did it have an effect on
them? How did it happen? So I'm grateful they never saw that toxic part. I'm so grateful.
My heart is dancing.
Honestly. I'm grateful they didn't.
My heart is dancing. I also feel like, in as much as, because I feel there's good and bad to everything. In as much as that is a beautiful thing, how do you think them not having their father present, how do you think that would affect them?
It affected them a lot, I would say, especially his coming and disappearing. My kids had serious, how do they use this? Separation. Whenever I'm going out, they'll be panicky. They'll be so scared, like, you know, because they've seen someone leave and not come back. So they're always scared. But now it's, like I say, time is a great healer of everything. Whenever I'm going out, they'll be so scared, panicky. If they're alone, they will cry. But now, they now know that, oh,
Mommy is always coming back.
I am present. And irrespective of anything, she would come back.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I'm so proud
I don't
of
know how
myself.
you don't cry.
I'm proud of myself, honestly. And like I say, it's a journey because so many things I know now, I didn't even know it the way I know it now. When they used to cry, it used to frustrate me. I didn't know. But I think the point at which I really discovered what they had was one time I bought them these Montessori beds in their colors. That was the first time I saw a great change in them, their improvements, their development. Okay, just this little thing I did. You know, I didn't know that what I was doing was building their independence. Got their beds, got their separate eating tables to look like a child growing, not adult table. Their own type of bed. Playful, colorful bed.
It felt like theirs.
Thank you. It felt like theirs and ownership of it.
With what you just said, is like children know things.
They know, but they're not just
able to articulate and talk about it.
So I think sometimes they know things in art form, in structure form, in vision form. Different.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just got them a Montessori bed. There's this bed with different structures, different colors.
And it felt like them. Not like I'm sleeping in mommy's bed and it's so big and I feel so lost. That is so beautiful. How did you? Was this something you just did? And then
I didn't even know. Like I said, I didn't know the meaning of what I was doing. I just did it. Like, okay, my kids deserve this, and I did.
But I think kudos to you because you were present enough to even catch it. Most people don't catch it.
And that was why I also really wanted to quit my 9 to 5 to be present, but not just to be present, but to be present and be in their lives.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, they did all to cry. I'm so happy.
Oh my God, it's a lot of work. It's not as easy as this because it comes with frustration, confusion. You in 1 minute you're wondering, oh, you're getting it right. The other minute, like, what am I even doing? But in any way, just keep going.
So So what is your view on love and commitment? How has it evolved over the years now?
Like I said, I see love and commitment in a different way. I think before I used to see love and commitment in the movies, Indian movies, all those Cherek and Bear kind. Well, no. That kind of love. That's what I knew as love. But no, now love is a different. Like I said, I'm grateful for my journey. I'm grateful for that phase. If I didn't go through all of that, I wouldn't have known this, what it truly is to love. And now I can see it and I can smell it from afar before this is not what I want. And I'm willing to wait. And I know what I want exists. So when you know that, why will you now settle for less? So that's one thing my journey has taught me. What I want, I would see it. Until then, we keep exploring.
I love it.
Not just wait. We keep exploring. We keep adding to ourselves. And we keep doing the work.
You do such an amazing job in constantly exploring who you are. You do an amazing job.
I'm not even yet there.
I know, like, I'm sure you have your own power. But for some other people, with everything you've gone through, with being a mother of triplets, some people make their children their lives. I feel like you have your own life even before your children, and you make that very clear.
Before I even had kids, I used to say this. I know I wanted kids, but I didn't want my kids to be the greatest thing I've done. I think I even made that post one time on my person. I know I wanted kids, but I didn't want having children to be my greatest accomplishment in life.
Yeah. I love that. I love that so much. And you stayed with it.
I'm still working. I'm still evolving.
Take your credits first.
Yes.
Because even you would have easily been, oh, now I have to take care of my children by myself. This is my life. I know nothing else and everything. And so people who do that, I get it, but there's a whole lot more. But you constantly say, I will do everything here and I will do everything for myself as well. And knowing that you have no support or no help as a father who is present to do that role, because it's a role of two people. You've taken that role and you're still doing greatly for yourself. It's such an inspiration. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Well done. If you're going to sum up your entire human experience from when you were born up until now, what would you sum it up to be?
It's a lot. It's in different phases. It's in different categories. It's in different groups. You see, in fact, when I have a friend who is always telling me, why am I still attending classes instead of to be teaching? I'm like, what do you want me to teach? Where? Which part of me?
No.
Which?
I agree, 100%.
Yes. Well, which part of me do you want to? Because I've experienced different parts. I have different parts. Is it being a chartered accountant, managing businesses, even before I owned mine, taxation, motherhood, so many things, life, like which parts? So to me, I know I'm a lot.
You are.
To me, I know.
But then it's the
fullness of your being. It's also humbling to me, honestly.
How?
It is humbling because, honestly, it's humbling to me.
How?
I've experienced so much, and I see it as a gift.
Because let me tell you what I'm thinking in my head. I think that this is the way God created every human, to explore the different parts of us. There is a fullness of who we are in multifaceted ways. It is how we are on earth, and we will fail and we will succeed. We will do good and we will do bad. Nobody is all good, nobody is all bad. And I feel like people do not give themselves the permission to explore the bad sides. And I'm like, actually, the bad side is what helps you to grow higher. You who have explored everything, even though it might be conscious or unconscious, and you've come to be this fullness of who you are. It is such an example. It is such an inspiration that I can go through these things in life and still be the fullness of my being. If you come and tell me that you're doing a course on all of these persons of being the fullness of one's being, take all my money, put all the money together, take all my money, because people people don't even have the awareness of it. And even when they are going through certain things that they feel like this is the end, seeing you and how you didn't just end it at where it was supposed to end, but you've done it over and over. You've removed yourself from the grave over and over again. You've rised up over and over again. And you are not just rising up and standing, you are flying.
I believe I can fly.
You're flying constant. And when I say flying, I don't even mean in like success, material success, but in constantly coming into your higher being over and over again. Like now you think this is it. But then in the next 1 year, you look back and you're like, no, I actually thought that was it. And now this is a whole lot more regarding the fullness of who you are on your inside. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, kudos. And people would love to learn. So, what's the name of the course now? You're launching it here right now. Yes. You're launching it here and now. You have a successful business.
I consult for businesses. Yeah, I consult. They pay me for time to talk on their business.
But you still teach now.
Yeah, I do. But there is no business without your life.
Yeah.
It's your life that bets
the business.
Your life is an extension of the business.
Yeah. So, yeah. Come and teach us. So.
Yeah, I consult. No, but my consulting, my business is all in all.
All in all. Got it.
It's different from just the normal business.
Yeah.
It's you and the business.
Right. Okay. I see that. That makes sense. So are you going to do like a coaching course for people?
Not a course, but I do a one-on-one. I do one-on-ones for now.
Okay. Our leader does one-on-ones. So how can we reach you? So that we come and meet you for our one-on-ones.
You can reach me on my personal page, Diary of a Triplet Mom, or even on Amal Botanicals page. There's a link on my bio. Have a clarity session with the founder.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. Why is there a link on your bio for Diary of a Triplet?
It's there. It's the same thing.
It's there as well. I feel like your story is such an inspiration.
Thank you.
And I'm so grateful that you honored to be, or the invitation to be here.
Oh, sure.
It's how you're excited for it for me.
I'm like, when I go, I'm like, life.
Are you a little
talk? And that's how people get to learn.
Yeah. Some people's stories especially, because it's always more.
I've also learned from other people's stories, so why don't I
share as well?
It's my story. However you take it, that's you. But it's my story.